This is Two Teachers Chat with your hosts, Brenda McCrate and Peggy Wilbur.
Morning, Peggy. How are you?
Morning, Brenda. How are you?
I am good.
We are Two Teachers Chat.
Yes, we are.
And I have a question for you
Of
today.
course you have a question. And what are we talking
What are we
about
talking
today?
about? My question is, what's a teacher to do when she has this urge to kick a student out of the class because of the student's behavior and send him to the principal? And because that happens to all of us on occasion.
It's because they can do it and they are bored. Because you made me think, the other type of kid looks at it and goes, it is stupid because I've been doing it for 5 days. I've been doing it right for 5 days. And why do I have to show her I can do it again? Because it's boring.
Right.
And that kid, I would go because whether it's a struggler or a kid who's got it, and you go, you do really pretty much know how to do these.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 10 problems. If you can do them all in the next, 10 minutes, and you can get 90%, so how many is that? 9 out of 10? Yeah, that's right. If you can get 9 out of 10 right, then I know you know this, and I can give you some of the more challenging work. And we'll take a quick 3 minutes and I'll show you something new. Sound like a deal? Or I may just say, you're right. You got 100 yesterday, and so did Sue, and so did Johnny, and so did Gabe. So you 5, come over here. I got a quick, I got like a million, a 17 place problem for you to do. Okay, do this one.
Yeah.
And make sure it's right because every step has to be right.
Yeah.
And there's 17 steps
right.
go. And then I could get back to teaching everybody who hadn't had it.
Right.
So you have to evaluate. You're always evaluating.
Right.
You have to let go of the fact that they just called your lesson stupid.
Right.
Because you worked really hard last night on it and you studied the book and you're trying really hard and it does hurt. But you know what? That's not what they're really saying. Right. They're either saying, I can't do it.
Right.
And this is my defense mechanism.
And their brain has decided that something in it isn't available right now. Yeah.
Right.
Or they're like, I've done this.
Please,
get me
do I
out
have
of
to do
this.
it again?
That's right.
Yeah.
There's one more type of child is the one that has come into the classroom and something really has been going wrong at home. And they feel personally attacked at home for whatever reason. They simply are coming in and don't have the wherewithal yet to join the class and are resistant and are very outspoken about it and get either aggressive or very angry or just they're imploding is what they're doing. What do you do with that?
Well, when you said it came from home, it reminded me of the importance of greeting every kid every day when you let them in the door. And I still see teachers, and I understand, guys. I understand. You came into work, you thought you were going to get everything done. You actually arrived half an hour early. You managed to get your coffee in hand, and then...
Or you didn't.
And then the principal needed to talk to you,
Right.
or your teammate needed to come in, or some parent showed up to talk.
Yes.
And suddenly...
To complain.
because, And then you had duty.
Yeah.
And so you're racing in the door, and you're thinking, I didn't get anything done, and I am not ready for the first 20 minutes, day, and I just got to get this thing fixed and ready. And you say to a kid, go in, open the door. Go open the door and let the kids in. Or you just kind of hold the door open and say, here, hold the door for the kids and come in. And you have your routines and the kids are being good. But little imploding guy walked in ready to implode, and you didn't see it on his face. And if you every day either meet those kids at the door, or like at my school, we lined up in the back playground and had to take them all the way through the hallway to the class for safety's sake. And I get it, but So what I did was I went out 3 minutes early. I walked the line of everybody who was already in line. I gathered up the kids who were coming in when the bell first rang. And then as we walked down the hallway, I quietly said, "Good morning, how you doing? How are things?" And then I read it on the face.
Yeah.
And I'd say, "Oh, did you have a tough morning?" "Yes, I did." I said, "Do you want to talk about it?" "No," because usually they don't. Usually it's just no. And then I'd say, "Do you want to talk to Miss, the social worker, the psychologist, whoever, somebody, some other teacher that has made a bond with them that maybe could have 5 minutes, You can send them, you want 5 minutes with so-and-so? Let me call her when we get to the phone, when we get in." And 5 minutes, and they've talked about it and they've let it out or whatever.
Yeah.
But that is so important, and it's so easy to get too busy to do. But then the other thing is, so they're stomping down the hall and they didn't want to talk to anybody and they're angry.
Okay.
So then you're going to go back to, okay, remember we talked about breathing, so let's do our breathing together. And maybe that is the morning. Maybe you've noticed one kid, maybe you've noticed 2 or 3 who aren't having a particularly good day. And so you break the routine a little bit and you say, we're going to do a little yoga breathing. We're going to do a little relaxation, a little stretching. We're going to put on some mood music, and you turn on the lovely mood music. And we're all just going to relax and start our day well. Whatever, kind of routines you have, but you got to get the pressure off. Sometimes with a lot of kids, it's because, especially if you built up a relationship during the year, it's just, do you want to talk about it? No. Okay, but I'm here if you need to. And you just have to come up and, or leave a little note on my desk, or just come up and let me know, okay, sweetie, and can you use a hug? And you give them a hug, and maybe at 11:30 on the way to music, they say, I need to talk to you. Okay, and you let everybody else go to music, and you keep them out in the hall or wherever for a minute. Sometimes it really is, my brother called me a such and such on the way out, and you go, oh, brothers, I have one. And you start, you relate a few minutes, and pretty soon they're going, yeah, brothers are dumb. You're going, yeah, they are. And off they go. Okay. And they're fine. Okay. And other times it's, we lost our home. Right. We're being evicted tomorrow.
Mom told me I'm retarded.
Yeah.
Those kind of things that weigh heavy on them. Yeah.
My mom's new boyfriend slapped my little brother around, and I'm afraid. And those are the things you are instantly at the social worker or the principal or whoever your reporting person is, and you're saying, this is what he told me. I mean, you don't, you don't hold on to that.
You share it,
You get it to the right person ASAP.
And it's interesting because I'll say to the child, I am going, because you shared that with me, I am going to be telling somebody who can help. And somehow that also helps them.
It does.
So, to recap, because this was a good session. To recap, we calm ourselves down and breathe.
Yep.
And then we have empathy. We don't know yet why they are outbursting, imploding, but we do have empathy that there's a reason on their part. Yep. And then we have several techniques or options that we can go to depending on what is going on. Yeah. And really most of the time we can keep them in our classroom, and sort of our empathy helps them to be able to self-regulate, and listening to them, having them to apologize to each other really calms the class, and then also helps that child to become engaged.
Yeah. And
time well worth
and
it.
there are still always going to be here and there that child that is so frequently like that that maybe you can't afford the 5 minutes, Right. But things like, and this comes into teaching them again. So you take 5 minutes somewhere along the line, like maybe when the other kids are out to recess, or you hold them back from lunch or something, and you say, this is not punishment, but you're interrupting the class a lot, and you're not happy, and I'm not happy, and the kids aren't happy. So we're going to come up with kind of a secret little signal. So when you're about to go, blah, you need to look at me and go, or go, or something. What do we want to do? Let's do something silly. And he'll say, ooh, I'm going to tug my ear. Okay. So you're getting ready to implode. You're going to tug my ear. I'm going to go point.
He's going to tug his ear.
Not yours. Don't come tug my ear. But come tug your ear. And you tug your ear, I point to you, and this is what you're allowed to do. Now, we can't let everybody know that I'm allowing you to do this because it's special. It's to help you, because I want you to learn, and I want you to let everybody else learn. And that's our signal that you can go out around to the water fountain, and I would physically walk him there. You may get a nice long drink. You go all the way around, and you take deep breaths all the while you're doing that. And when you feel you're calm, then you walk back in. Now, if you are gone more than 3 minutes, I will send someone after you, because I will be worried that you've gone somewhere you're not supposed to. But I am trusting you to do this because I know I can trust you, even if you're not sure you can. But you say this, and you know what? I have seen it work time and time again, because what that kid needs is to get physically calm. You're teaching them how to do it. You know, you're
Which
teaching
will be helpful to them as an adult.
Absolutely.
You know, because breathing in deeply gets oxygen to the brain. Walking is rhythmic, and that is a self-regulating piece.
Water.
And they
helps.
get to do it. They get to decide when they need this. And I had a student who we talked to her and taught her how, if you're really unhappy right now about what we're doing, and it was reading, she just pushed her chair back, like, 2 feet or a foot, not much, and then counted to 10, and you could see her mouthing to 10, and she'd look at me and I'd look at her, and then she'd push herself back in and begin. And it happened at the beginning maybe 3 times out of a 45-minute class.
Of course it did.
And then it would get down to 1, and sometimes it shot back up to 3, depending what was going on inside of her. And it was lovely to see her not implode and fall all over the chair and start yelling and have to leave and go to the principal's office. You know, that was something that she could do. Very much like your student deciding to go and go get a drink of water.
Because just like teaching them norms about how to active listen and how to raise their hand and all those things we talked about earlier, you have got to teach them coping mechanisms, because if they are that child that's imploding and exploding, they more than likely are not getting that at home. I mean, they might be, because some parents are working so hard, and I feel for them. You know, and they're taking them to counselors, and they're getting them the treatment they need, and yet it's still there. And, so you work as hard as you can. You work even harder for those kids, because the parents are working so hard. But if they're not getting that at home, and they can get it at school, then you are teaching them to cope for years to come. And granted, it may not show up in their grades. It may not show up in your data. But you have to have that faith that 3 years, 5 years, 7 years down the road, that kid is still using your coping techniques, and they're getting what they need in school, because now they can be in school.
We just bless you. We know it's a hard job.
It is.
And we just want the best for you and for your children.
Thank you for watching 2 Teachers Chat. Until next time, and remember, teachers touch lives forever.